one of the things about this whole soul abilities world that makes it difficult to buy into, either as the general public, as a skeptic, or even as someone who is looking into it like yourself and maybe looking for its truth for yourself, there's a difficulty in proving that it's for real. The process of energy medicine uses subtle energy influences. And this kind of energy medicine is described as putative and is what a majority of energy medicine schools of thought are based on. Minute, super small energy influences. We're talking so subtle that modern instrumentation can't detect it, can't measure it. So it can't be proven. It may actually be a thing, but science can't prove it. And this is universal in the soul ability stuff. We don't have instrumentation to measure and to prove its validity. So for people to automatically write it off as nothing or fake, or you know how people feel about this stuff. And you might even have your own crisis identifying what you can accept in this world. I get it. But the fact of the matter is science is having a hard time proving all this stuff. This inability to detect the subtle energy shifts makes for a hefty case for skeptics on both sides of the energy medicine's validity debate. On one hand, it cannot be measured, so you can't submit it for a scientific theory. And then on the other hand, you can determine that modern science could prove it someday, but just needs more instrumental advances, maybe some more knowledge and understanding in detecting such subtle differences, maybe at some point, but not today, not right now. The other thing that's interesting to think about, since we're already talking about proving and science, the other thing to think about when it comes to the validity of is this stuff for real is not just the instrumentation, but also the money. Who's going to put money into something that could essentially destroy the pharmaceutical industry? Pharmaceutical industry makes a lot of money off of people who have dry mouth, who have erectile dysfunction, all kinds of symptoms, all kinds of diagnoses. But medicines, for the most part, that aren't curing anything, that are just kind of taking care of symptoms, not curing the problem. So you got to think about the money trail when it comes to why things aren't being funded to research. And I think putting this into perspective gives you reasoning as to why this is still relatively skepticized, not believed. I understand why people feel skeptical about this soul ability stuff. I get it. But at the same time, understanding the perspective of, well, who's actually going to fund the scientific research for this stuff? As a human being, you naturally have the curiosity into this stuff. But in real life, we got to think about the money aspects because this world runs on money, unfortunately. Who's going to make money off of a scientific study that says this human being was able to cure this other human being of their chronic illness? Who's going to profit from that? In our world, in our state of affairs, the way things are set up, there's a lot of people that don't want that research to happen. There. Done. Sarah's rant is done. Let's continue with energy medicine because there's a lot to get to.